Alright, Adaptive Fitness, welcome back to the Adaptive Fitness General Physical Preparedness program. Today is day 2 of week number 1. Today we've got the introduction to the shoulder press, basic 5x5 rep scheme, conditioning piece, gonna keep moving, gonna work a couple different body parts, and then accessory, some shoulder work, shoulder stability, get that upper body strong today. So let's get to work right on the shoulder press. Similar to what I did yesterday with the deadlift, I'll first demo with a barbell and then with some alternative weight options. Alright, so shoulder press, pretty basic. Pretty much the only part of the body that we're moving is your shoulders. Legs do not move at all. Core is going to stay tucked. Kind of keep your hips under your rib cage. You don't want any exaggerated arching of the back. You want to keep everything in one straight line. So I'll show from this height. So our front rack, we're going to have our elbows slightly in front of where our weight is placed. Going to go straight up with our bar, and then our head should be pretty much right in line, or our arms should be pretty much right in line with our ears. Everything should be in a straight line. If anything, your head can be slightly through the window that you make with your arms. You feel that a lot. Upper shoulders. So 5 sets of 5 reps. Similar to the deadlift, we can go up in weight every set if we want, or we can stay at the same weight for every set. And again, if you have a couple different options for your weights, this is really just a baseline test to see where we're at, because we'll revisit this rep scheme a couple times and we'll be able to see progression here. If you have, say, like a water jug that you are just like refilling with water, it'll be good to kind of start out light, build a little as you go. The grip, for if you're using something like a gallon that has a handle, you're gonna kind of want to let that weight fall onto the outside of your arm. Hold that with kind of some strain on your wrist, and it's the same deal, just pressing that out. If you only have one piece of weight equipment, you can just do 5 on one side, switch and do 5 on the other. Ideally, it's the same weight, so kind of scale back to whatever your weaker arm can do comfortably. So I'll demo the same thing with some dumbbells. I'll stay down on my knees for this. Same deal. That weight will start up on our shoulders. Elbows slightly out in front of you. Hips tucked under your rib cage, and then the arms are the only part of you moving. Show from the side. Even if you don't have to do this from your knees or from a seated position, it's still comfortable from a seated position because you do still have to keep that core active. If you're seated in a wheelchair, same deal. We've got a seat, and we'll just go from here. Remember to keep core active, keep hips underneath the rib cage. We don't want any exaggerated rounding up the spine. And same deal, 5 sets of 5. Increase in weight if you are comfortable. So now for our conditioning, we'll have a couple alternative movements we can do here. So let's start with the hurdle steps for standing version. So you're gonna want something that you can just step over. I've got a dumbbell here. If you have like those push-up handles, those are good alternatives. It can be something even as low as like a PVC pipe. It can be a line on the floor. That's perfectly fine. And then the hurdle step, we're pretty much stepping from one side to the other over the dumbbell. I believe we have 30 total of these. Yes. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure both feet get over, step over so you have enough clearance. That inside foot is going to step first for 30 total. Next we have push-ups. So standard push-up will go from the ground, chest touches the ground, press all the way up, arms fully extended at the top. If you cannot do, so we have 30 total in this workout. If you cannot do that first round of 10 unbroken, I would say start out on your knees. We can do knee push-ups, a little bit less weight that you're moving there. If you have issues going all the way down to the ground, we kind of talked about this one with the burpee. So if you have a chair or if you have a piece of furniture in your house, pretty much using that, placing your hand on that, and then just going down to that level. And then the ultimate kind of version of that would be the wall push-up. So really just having your hands up against a wall, leaning into it, push yourself away from the wall. So that covers the push-up. So next we have the butterfly sit-up. So butterfly just describes the position our legs are going to be in. So we'll have our knees out, feet together, go back, backs touch the ground, touch behind your head with your hands, bring your hands back up, and then touch your toes. And that'll be one sit-up. If you have issues going that far back, you can go as far back as you're comfortable with. Come up, you don't have to go all the way to your toes, you can go to the middle of the foot, the heel, pretty much just any spot in front of your body. If this butterfly position isn't comfortable, you can go straight leg and then just reach past your knees. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with sit-ups. You can use whatever version is most comfortable for you if that butterfly position gives you trouble. So now the seated version, we do go down to the floor for this one. So I'll give the kind of alternate version if you are unable to reach down or if you're unable to get yourself down onto the floor. So first up, dumbbell plate hand step-ups. I'll show another demonstration video of this soon. But basically, you are on the ground on all fours, on tabletop position, hands and knees, and then you have an elevated platform in front of you, and then one weighted object at your hands. So what you'll do is you'll grab that weight, bring it up to your elevated platform, bring it back down, switch hands, bring it up, bring it back down, and switch. So alternating, you have 16 total. 16 total, so it'll be 8 on each side. And then if you are unable to go to the floor, we can do the same thing seated, pick it up. I would recommend kind of a higher platform to rest your weight on if you can't get out of your chair, which is perfectly okay. Also, say you have something that's about chest level and you're not comfortable going all the way to the floor with your weight, you can start with that weight in your lap. Lift that up to, if you have a higher platform for resting on. And then if you choose to use 2 hands for moving your weight, that'll be 16 total instead of 8 on each side. So next we have the floor press. So this is another one that requires you to go to the floor. We'll have the different version if you cannot go down to the floor. Alright. So the floor press, similar to the bench press, you'll have, we'll be lying back on the floor, feet pressing into the ground, and then your weight, it'll come down to your chest, and you'll lift that up overhead, one arm, similar to a bench press. And then this is going to be 10 on each side. So it'll be 10 on one side, 10 on the other, and that'll be pure floor press. I'll show you from looking at my head down to my feet instead. All right, floor press. So feet pressed into the floor, weight at the chest, press all the way straight up. So then, final part of that, we have the weight round overhead. This one, I would encourage one piece of equipment, 2 hands at a time. So that weight, you hold it, touch the ground, and then you can go either directly overhead with it, you can bring it to the lap, then go overhead, bring it to the ground, bring it to the shoulders, and then overhead. Any way you want. You just start on the ground, and then you go and with it overhead. And that will be 10 total. If you cannot go both hands at the same time, I would say if you do one arm at a time, alternate it, and just do 5 total, 10 total, 5 on each side. If you cannot go all the way to the floor with the weight, that can be a lap to overhead instead of all the way to the ground. Alright, so that workout is 3 rounds for time. So 1 round for the standing version, that'll be your total 30 hurdle steps, 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups. That'll be 1 round. You have 3 rounds total. The goal is to get through those 3 rounds as fast as you can. The seated version, I forgot to go over the floor press for if you cannot get out of your chair. So we'll do the same single arm version. If you can, do an incline in your chair, that would be best. And you can kind of extend that weight out in front of you. That would be best. If you cannot, then we'll just have our elbow kind of out to the side. So for that strict press earlier, we had our weight, we had our elbow in front of us. This time we'll have our elbow out to the side. And then we'll press straight up. If you only have one piece of equipment, 10 reps on each side. Yeah, so that seated version, it'll be the 16 plate and step ups, 10 floor press on each side, or the seated press on each side, and then 10 weight ground overhead, or lap to overhead. That 16, 10, 10, that'll be one round. Again, get through those 3 rounds as fast as possible. So then accessory work is the same for both versions. I recommend having 2 just really light pieces of equipment. I'll use a couple weight plates that are 5 pounds each. And I'll have a light accessory, a light resistance band. So first thing we've got is a front raise. So holding that weight in front of you, really just lifting that right up in front of your face. Shoulders should be straight, arms should be straight out in front of you. To do that until failure. So just go and keep moving with good rhythm until your shoulders can't keep going. Again, go with a light weight. The first handful of reps should be pretty easy, and then that fatigue will start to set in, and your shoulders will start feeling it. That'll be more for that front part of your shoulders. The lateral shoulder raise, that'll be the outside part of your shoulders. So for that, we'll hold our weights, and then we're going to go straight out into basically a T. Make sure you have enough space on either side of you. Raise up to a T. Again, lightweight. This will probably be the more limiting movement. Use the same weight as you did for the front raise. That'll probably be the more difficult one. And it's the same deal. Just go and do as many as you can until you can't anymore. And then we have the band pull apart. So I recommend a resistance band. If you really don't have a resistance band, you can use a towel, and the big part will just be the feeling of kind of squeezing your shoulder blades together. But that's what we're going to do with the band. Hold that up right in front of you, and then we're going to get the back of the shoulder now with these band pull aparts. Make sure you kind of keep your upper shoulder blades down. You don't want them raising up in the middle of the move, so keep those locked down. Pull all the way to your chest. And again, do these until you reach shoulder fatigue and you have to stop. So we'll have 3 rounds of these until failure. You can rest as much as you want in between the exercises and between the rounds. Just make sure you get those 3 full rounds in, and yeah, you'll feel your shoulders will start to feel it. So that'll do it for day 2. Tomorrow, or the day 3 for this week, we're gonna introduce you guys to some squatting and dipping movements. I've got another hard workout. Those dumbbell plate hand step ups come up again. So make sure you're familiar with those and make sure you have a good setup. And then we have some core accessory work. So look forward to that. All right, we'll see you guys next time.